Guys, you can start your machine. Can start your Cloudera. Hope you have started. Please confirm. Okay. Yeah, sure. Yep. Please write down the commands. It's taking time. Meanwhile, you can just write the command, please. All right. So just quick revision what we have learned till now. We talk about map. We started with the SDFS architecture, and we talk about all the principal limitation, how Hadoop works, what are the roles and responsibility of Hadoop components and its subcomponents. We talk about the architecture, and later the next model we talk about the cluster designing, how to design a cluster, pseudo mode, and we have had a hands-on with the Cloudera. We had a, I guess you guys have done onto the Linux as well, Ubuntu. You have designed manual cluster there itself. Okay, so we have two component of Hadoop. Okay, one is SDFS and the second is the MapReduce. So we have done with the SDFS. We have designed the cluster as well. So we'll talk about MapReduce, how data process. So MapReduce is nothing, it's a framework which is written in Java. Okay, and very important, if you start with the MapReduce, you have a basic understanding of OOPS concept required for this. Okay, even if not, then it's okay, you can learn it. And but very important, if you're writing the MapReduce program, if you do not even want to write the MapReduce program, you have to understand the concept of MapReduce, because if you're working with the other ecosystem of Hadoop, like Pig, Hive, okay, then it too use the concept of MapReduce, not in the coding, but yes, data and processing. So it's very important for you to understand the concept of the MapReduce. That is the agenda for today's session. Okay, so don't get more, don't put yourself in, don't take stress to, if you're not from the coding background, from the Java background. The agenda is very simple. I will give you the fair idea how exactly the code debugging in MapReduce, what are the components, how it works, and the very important, the flow. And you should know how to write the algo after this session. Okay, so you can see on my screen, okay, this is what the Cloudera. Let me just start it. I will expect the same from your end. Give the username password Cloudera. Okay, this is Cloudera, and I will go as JFS. Okay, all good. Open the terminal. Check your daemons. That is the first job. Check your all the daemons. Just write sudo jps. And class in session, you can do all this practical in Cloudera. Later, you can do this all your own Linux machine. Okay, which you have designed sudo mode. All the daemons running fine. What next? So I told you that today we'll talk about MapReduce program, and we'll see the flow first. We'll run a small job, and then we'll talk about. Okay, so I'm having a small file EVM. Okay, this file I will store on SDFS, and then we'll run a job using MapReduce, and we'll talk about the code, the flow. So how to that? I believe we have done before as well. Hadoop fs hyphen put. Home Cloudera is stop, and then rename the file covax1. Okay, where you want user Cloudera. Okay, the file has been stored. You can go and check the file there itself. It's started. Covax1 is coming here. Then we'll process the data. We'll count the number. Okay, what is this data? Okay, so we'll count the number of votes. Okay, using the MapReduce. So clear this. So this is the path where you have the code. Just write on user lib. The class name is word count number. And you want to run this jar on which file? Go, okay, go under rax1. It's the same name, right? We just stored on your SDFS. You have to give the path user Cloudera and then you have to give the output directory where you want to store this file. Okay, user Cloudera coax 1 OP. Just so you're saying this, run this jar file onto this file which is stored on SJFS, and give me the output on SJFS on this path. So this directory will create automatically. I believe I've given the right file name, coax1, right? And then run the job. I'm warning window. So you see that job done. Now you can go and check the output from there itself. Okay, press this coax on OP, and here's the output. Okay, if you want to see the time frame, whether it's helper job ID, every job having its own unique ID. It's taken 32 seconds, and many more information you can. So we'll talk about this for today. Okay, we'll talk about this job counter, file system counter, debugging, running. Okay, that's all we have. So what next? Okay, hope you've done this on your machine. Just let me open my slide. So, and this is what I have written the code here, Axel. What I have done, right? Meanwhile, you can write it down. Let me open my slide. Map to use word count. Okay, so let me show you some quick flow of this. So this is what we have done. Right, you can see the screen. So we'll talk about the flow first. What exactly done till now? We'll do that at last, Arun. So this is what your input file, guys. Okay, this is what the input file. Let's focus on the algo. This input file split into a number of lines: bus, car, train, bus, 3 lines, and then this all the line gets split into words. Okay, and every word assign the value 1 1 1 1 1 something. Okay, then let's shuffle all the data and put all the words look similar together. All the bus come here, car here, train, train. Then count the number of words Okay, it's coming, and it's all the words put it together. So finally we get this counting. So this is the input file, and I'll show you this output, and this is the algo. All right. So this is the algo. It's very simple. If you know any programming language, SQL, Java, .NET, Perl, Python, whatever it, your technical expertise or your programming skills, you can implement this algo with that programming language. What if I say you write this algo into MapReduce? Okay. So the very important thing, if you write the MapReduce program, you should have a fair understanding of Java. One thing. Second thing, not Java knowledge is sufficient. You should know the pattern to write the MapReduce program. Okay, so this MapReduce is a pattern which we have like in hash map. In Java, there's a topic called hash map. There's a hash map and hash table. Topic comes under collection. So it is from there. Hash map, it works with the key value. Okay, so let's focus onto the pattern to write the MapReduce program first. So, okay, the prerequisites to write the MapReduce, it's a Java. Okay, and to write the MapReduce program, you should know you should write the map input splitting. Okay, this is the map it. This is the reducer. These are three things. Please write down, please. To write the MapReduce program, you have to write the first is uh, you should know the Java and the first. These are the three classes. Okay, mapper, reducer, and driver. Okay, these are three classes we have. Java. MapReduce. Okay, MapReduce take everything's in the key value format. As I told you that it belongs to a topic called hash map. So hash map is nothing key value pairs. So it's algorithm which we use in fact in Google algo. So whatever you write in Google, when you go to the Google and search something, okay, let me just show you. Right, if you open in search engine and write it something big data Hadoop training. Okay, Hadoop training. Okay, so you see that you write, what do we write in the browser? It's called key. So, and what are the value you're getting here? It is called, what are the result you're getting here? It's called value. So one unique key have multiple values. So here search is being done by using key, and result you're getting, and technically it is called value. So you have multiple results here. You can see, right? So these are all the results we have. Multiple results are there, and yep, the this is all going on to other web, multiple pages being there as well. Okay, so it depends, that has come how to get the page on the first page, that comes under the digital marketing SEO job, but this is how it works. It works on key value page. Okay, hope you understand. So the very important thing, even input or output. Okay, so if you let me just, okay, everything should be in the key value process. Okay, KV. Okay, key and value. So we talk about, this is our input file. Okay, here we had input file, and we process the data using MapReduce. But okay, right, we had the input data and we process using the MapReduce, right? But in my input file there was no such key, right? But we did the job. I guess it's not clear. Let me give you the clear understanding. So in MapReduce, say that everything should be in key value format. Okay, everything should be in the key value format, right? Even input, even the output, it will give in the key value format. But in our input file, there was no such key value. Key was not there, right? Such thing here. But we, as I mentioned that, this job we run using the MapReduce. So MapReduce say that input recorded in key value format, and you're not giving any key value. So how it is working? So we'll talk about this today, how it works. Before that, you should know this three things. Okay, mapper, reducer, and driver class. If you talk about the mapper class, what mapper class? Input, splitting, and mapping. See here, input, splitting, this is the three phase. Okay, write this. This is your input. Okay, this is your splitting. You see here, splitting is there itself. Okay, and this is the mapping. So this comes under your MapReduce program. You got it? Sorry, this is the part of the mapper. Okay, what next? Reducer. And reducer part, shuffling, reducing, and final result. So this is what the job is called here. Sorry, this is your shuffling part. Okay, and just one sec. Yep, this is your reducing part. Okay, and this is your final result. So this part comes under what? Your reducer. This part come under the your what? Mapper. So you will write the code accordingly. Okay, next, what is the driver class here? Driver class is nothing, it's a main method where we write the where from the Java started. So public static void main. Okay, now yeah, this is all. Okay, okay. So we get the pen first pointer. So this is what we have. Okay, right. So here, I guess one thing is not mentioned. Let me write it. So here is K1, so V1. So K2, it's V2. K2, V2 list. Okay, and this is final is what your K3, V3. Okay, so let me explain you how this. Okay, so this was your input file, guys. Now just focus from here. I have just stored this file as a co-vaccine, right? This was your input file. So the first phase of MapReduce program, guys, just let me write down so you'll get the clear understanding about this. The first okay, it's already there. Thank you. The first phase, you pass the input file. You see here, you pass this input file, and this input file, the first when you pass this input file, because MapReduce say that I want the input data in a key value format, right? You see here, MapReduce say that I need the data in a key value format, but this input file does not contain the input in the key value format. So you have to give this input data in a key value format. Okay, so how it works? So see here, the first thing what happened, data will get split. The first phase is what? Data will split, then this data will pass, it will convert it into the key value pair. So first you see here, your input file is there, data will split into line. Okay, there's a mechanism, and how means if you're splitting the data, Why this data is splitting into line by line? There's a first question. Okay, and after splitting data, the input data will get converted into the key value pairs. Okay, so the second question, how this data converted in the key value pairs? Okay, so first we'll talk about the splitting. Splitting depends upon the algo. Okay, if you have, it depends upon the input part format. Okay, so it my data gets split. So how the splitting will happen? How we know that my data is splitting? Why then my data is splitting into line by line? Or if I change another format, in a one line there's a two, in a one split there's a two lines, or some other different format. So how we can control this? So splitting depends upon the input file format, guys. Just remember, input file format. What is the input file format? So let's say if you have a text file. So text file, how it's split? Whenever it get the new line character. Okay, it get the new line character. So new line character always come at the end of the line. So that is the reason data is splitting into line by line. So you can define the delimiter. Based on that delimiter, new line character is also kind of delimiter. So by default, text file work onto this delimiter, and this is how the data splitted. Okay, data splitted into line by line. So now this line, it is not called line, it is what called, every line is called a record, guys. So you have to learn the terminology. Every line is what called record. So now this, we have a three record. So now this three record, what we have to convert into the key value pairs. This is the question. How did I convert into the key value pairs? So the record, every single record, now one by one I will take this and I will pass to what? Record reader. So record reader is actually responsible to convert data in key value pairs. You got it? So you pass three records, you have a three records, you pass this record. This happen internally all, you don't need to do that. So this will convert data in record reader, and that will give you data in a key value pairs. You got it? One by one. Okay, all the three record. So now you have, this is actually the input file for the mapper. This will become the input file now, because mapper, you say what? I need data in key value pair. So actually this was your data, but for the MapReduce, this is the input file, because input file takes always in key value, and this is the output. When you pass this input, it will give you the output. So see here, both are in KV, but there's a K1 V1, K2 V2. So what do you mean by K1 here? And what do you mean by the K2 V2? So what is K1 V1 here? What is K2 V2 here? Okay, let's see. So just okay. So see here, this will become input for the mapper. So K1 V1. So question will be, what is K1 and what is V1 here, right? So let me show you. So you had K1 will be the address. Yes, address, or you can say hexadecimal number. Technically, it is being giving the address, uh, and V1 is what? The content of the line. What is the content of the line? Bus, car, trend. This is what. So every record having unique address, and that unique address is represented by key. That is what name is given K1, and V1 is what? Content, the value of this content. This is what called the value of the content V1. Okay, so this is input will be passed to this, and you have to write the code. So this data will transform into this format. So this output is coming into K2 and V2. So again, the question come here, what is K2 and what is V2 here? So K2, this bus is called K2 and V2 is its value. This column is what key and this is what your value is. Okay. Now, this is your mapper job. Mapper job is over. You pass this input, I'll give you this output according to the algo. So this is what the job of mapper. After that, what? Reducer. So reducer, the first phase start from what? Shuffling. So see here, output is given to the K2. So next is what? Shuffling and sorting. So shuffling and sorting, we do not write the code. We'll show you the code as well. But in our code, we do not write the code for the shuffling. It's it's an algorithm. You might be learn about binary search, linear search algorithm in operating system. Okay, so that kind of sorting it happens depends upon the algo which you pass it. So default algos say that if you do not write, if you not customize any algo, if you do not write any your algo, so the default algo will say that okay, whatever the input file which looks together, whatever the key K2, okay, which looks similar, put together. So it will shuffle, bus here, okay, put there, okay, right. All the words look similar, it will create a group and there. And then sorting is what? So it's sorted B, C, right? Alphabetically, it has been sorted. So B, C, T, P. Okay, so this is the job of shuffling and sorting. And then the reducer will start. You see here. This after shuffle and sorting, which you can say list. Why I'm writing list, I will let you know as well. List of K2, V2. Say, and input of the reducer will be the output of this. Remember, input always work on shorter data. It's mandatory. Input always work with shorter data. So input always come with shuffle and sorting. Okay. So input come with the shorter data. All right. So this input will pass to the reducer, and then reducer will give you the output in terms of K3 and V3. So see here. This input will pass to the reducer. So reducer job is what? Count it, number of time bus 3, car 2, train 3, and train 2. And this is the output. We put reducer given output together. So technically, it is output is showing in K3 V3. So what is K3 here? Again, this bus is key and V is what? The value. So this is what quick flow. Okay. All right, guys. So you have to follow this order. That is very important. Why important? Because uh, you should know the right how to write the algo, how the flow, how the technical. There's all the terminology. There's all things which you are using here. Internally, when you write the map produce, okay, you should know this and you should know very well the Java code, how to write this. Okay. But if you do not from the coding background and let's say you opt for pig or hive, although pig is not that much in one, but yes, you're learning hive. So in hive, internally the code will convert into the MapReduce program. That you're not going to do that, but that is a MapReduce engine which convert the code into the MapReduce program. And when it convert the code into the MapReduce program, okay, your job is done. But when you are doing this, all the things will come in the picture because this is all the MapReduce job. Okay. And when you're talking about when I say, hey, do some performance tuning means increase the performance in Hive, configuration tuning, performance tuning. So at that time, you see that multiple features, you are doing all the performance by the controlling of MapReduce parameter. So at that time, you should know all this thing, number of mapper, number of reducer, and many things will be there. So you have to be familiar, because not from the coding end, but many things from the admin or many things from the code point of view, you have to mention this all the part. So you cannot skip that. Hope you understand. Okay. So it's very important to learn this and write the algo at least, if you're not going to write the code. Okay. So let me show the code for this. Any question, guys? Can I get a quick response on the chat window? Yep. Thanks for the rest. Okay. Okay. I'll open the code and we'll read this all. Just give me some time. All right, guys. Thank you. Yeah, you can write it into Python as well. All right. That will say in the Python. There's no package. There's a PySpark. I can take. We'll see in the Python part. We'll go. It's too early to come onto the Python, but yes, it's possible. You can write. I told you. I guess you have not noticed. I told you this is a simple program, right? And this program you can write in any programming language. It's not mandatory. If I say you have to write this code into MapReduce, then you have to follow this. Else, your program, the algo I have given to you, you can implement it with the code. That's it. Okay, so let me show you something interesting part. Okay, so see this. I believe I've given you the clear idea about this, how to write this, how to work onto this, right? And now this will implement this algo and code. So this is all the library, right? The MapReduce and Java, MapReduce. So if you have Hadoop, right? I believe you have downloaded the Hadoop, right? Hadoop tar file. So when you unzip this file inside Hadoop, here is a lib directory. Inside this lib, all the libraries are available. Okay. Yep. There's all the libraries are available inside Hadoop lib directory. All right. So we have our three classes. Again, we'll follow this path. We have our three classes, as I mentioned. There's a mapper, there's a mapper, and this is the shuffle and sorting. Okay, I told you that all comes under this. We do not write the code. This is the reducer, and this is the main method. Three classes. So I'm writing the three classes in a same single program. You can write three different programs as well. Okay, this is the main method, and this is the shuffle sorting. Okay, so let's count this. Let's count this. So cat, this is what your input file, right, guys? Okay, this is your input file, right? Right. So the first phase, can you tell me what is the first thing? Yeah, yes, please. Can you tell me what is the first phase of MapReduce? Anyone? Okay, it's not input, it's a splitting, right, Bindu? Input, that is what we are facing. So the first phase is splitting, right? Right, guys? Splitting, right? First phase is what? Splitting. You pass this input and so splitting happen on based on input file format. So in input file format is what? Simple text file. So text file, how it's split? Line by line, right? Because new line character. Then what next? What next? This is your input file, and split line by line, right? What next after this? Yeah, after next, what window? Splitting. So yeah, exactly, good. So this input will file will be passed to whom? A record reader, which will convert data into key value pairs. Exactly. So we'll send one by one, right? We'll pass to the record reader. Record reader will give what? Input data and key value pair. So key one is what? Offset value. Just remember, offset value. Offset value always start from 0. So this is the address, or you say logically it's address, and this is the. So whenever you any record you're calling, it will be called by its offset value. Remember, by this address. So every record will have a unique offset value. Okay, you see here, and so on. It will be given to you. What next, guys? Yes, please. What next after this? Yeah, I believe we have done this. Yeah, this will become the input file, right? Okay, I should know that. Yes, you're working onto this. Okay, all right. So this input will be passed to the mapper, just related. That's very important. This is the input, right? This is what input will pass to the mapper. So actually, this is the code. This is the mapper code, guys. You see here. Then this mapper code, this is the parameter of the mapper. Just write down. The basic parameter of the mapper is what? Long writable text, text interpretable. To understanding, this is mapper works is what? Key value, right? K1 V1 and output is what? K2 V2. So what is K1? This is what K1 and this is what V1. And this is the output of mapper. So K2 and V2. Please write down the basic parameter of mapper is this. So again, it's very important for you. Write down, please. The basic parameter of mapper is this. You can make the changes according to the file format as well. Remember. Done. I need you guys, please don't skip this because when you write the MapReduce program, at that time it's very essential to learn all this thing. Okay. Just a minute. Okay. So now see the code. Now you want the output in which phase? Okay, this is your input file. Okay. You want the output into this format, right? Sorry, this is your input file. You want output into this format, right? So you want to split even every record into one word by word. So this is how you have to write the code. K1 V1 K2 V2. Okay, so see here again. Need more coding at the starting of Java, but just learn from this format. Okay, so K1 V1 is what? Long iterable. I given an object that is named as key, or text is a given object that's called value, and this is the output. All right, text iterable. So output will come in output collector. Output will hold into output collector. Okay, we'll get the report onto that. All right. So what next? What is the first job, guys? So it will take all the record. See here, value, which hold all the record, right? Value hold all the record, V1, right? So I pass this. It will convert all this thing into the string. Okay, and all the record it will hold into the line. This is the object now, new object. Okay, so again, what is the first job? It takes this record. Okay, I have to split into word by word. So you can write n number of logic for this. I'm writing for this string tokenizer. I'm writing for this what? String tokenizer, which split the data. String tokenizer job is what? String tokenizer job is what? Split the data into. So say yes, I pass this line into this. You have to pass what you have object defined here. I pass it and say here, I define a one delimiter. How you have to split my data? Because my delimiter in my input file is comma. So whenever I get the comma, it will split. Scat rat mat cat. Whenever I get the comma, it will split into word by word. So see here. That's what. You got it. Okay. So what next? Split the data and the see after this data transformation, the data will look like this. And now what next? What are the data it's splitting? Where it is storing? So see here, it's a tokenizer is an object. What are the data you're splitting? After storing it, it will hold into This is all array, guys. This is all the collection topic, how the object, how the data you have to store. So there's too many concepts of collection I'm using here from the core point of view. So tokenizer will hold all this record. You see here. So just understand this, all the output is coming into the tokenizer. So how the tokenizer will put the data. So this is a loop. So tokenizer will say that, hey, do you have the more record? So it will say yes, I'm having this record. Okay, let's talk about this record first. So this record has been passed from here. Then the data gets split into this way theory, and all this is recorded come into the tokenizer. And tokenizer, what we have next after this, data splitted. So what in data you need to assign a one value as well, right? So how to assign this value? So tokenizer will run a one loop. Tokenizer has more tokens. Again, I'm saying I'm taking for the first record, 3 record. So see, yes, condition is true. We'll say okay, value dot set. This is what if the condition is true, do this. So what is this? Value dot set. What is the value? See here, value, we refer this here. Again, I'm more focused in terms of logical terminology than technical terminology to get your clarity. So value dot set. So just understand this, after reading this, after this load, it hold this value in value. Okay. Okay. What this will do, it will print this token. So it will hold this value, hold what? Cat. Okay. What next? Output dot collect. It will call the output collector. So here we hold the output, right? K2V2. So K2V2 has been passed to whom? Output collector. So text int writable. All right. So see here, text. I have written the same here. Text is what referred by value. I written value. Value hold what? Cat. So I have written what? Cat. Then int writable. So int writable, I pass this value. If you want 1, 2, 3, whatever you want, you just write it there. So cat 1, cat 1. Then what we have, rat 1. Okay, and one by one, it will call all this value, and it will look like this. See here, K2V2. Okay, so this is finally we got the mapper output from here itself. Any question? Please let me know. Yes, please. Till this point clear? If not, let me know. Yes, please, guys. Okay, so Bindu having a question. String tokenizer itself. No, a string tokenizer is a Java. If you want to split anything based on the delimiter Bindu, we use this string tokenizer. It's not an algo. It's a it's it's a function. Means if you want to split anything based on delimiter, rather than writing, it's a inbuilt function we have. Okay, Bindu, it's clear. Okay, fine. Yeah, I don't know anything from here. Or rest, anything. All right. So just a minute. So what next? Okay. So now what next? It's what shuffle and shorting, right? So see here. So what is the shuffle and shorting, guys? Shuffle shorting say what? Right. So see here. Now, as I mentioned, one thing you have to understand first. This concept of we are using of key value. It is a hash map. If you get the chance to just learn it, which work on key value. But it has a one limitation. It does not allow to process duplicate key. It does not work on duplicate key. Okay. It does not work on duplicate key. What do you mean by duplicate key? Now see here. So cat one. Cat again cat is coming, right? So this is a do we have the duplicate keys? Cat is coming two times, rat is coming, right? So we have a number of duplicate keys. So hash, if you're using the concept of hash map in terms of key value, so it say that no, I do not allow to use a duplicate key. So you remember I written what list? Why I have written the list? So see here. It's okay, don't nothing to worry. I will use the single cat is coming what twice. So I will make it unique. Whatever the value I will pass into the cat one. So cat all the two value I pass it here. So now it's become now no matter cat is coming single time or 100 time, cat will become unique. So key become unique and we did the same. All right, we did the same. All right, clear. This is shorted, this is shuffling. Okay, you can technically it is also called what you did shuffling. So all the words which come together, I put cat, but cat was coming two times, but cat was duplicate key, so it did like make it unique and pass this all the value in a single parameter. That is why it's called list. So it can iterate the value ladder, mat, and so on. You see here, and then sorted C, D, M, R alphabetically. Hope it's clear. Then this value will pass to a reducer. This value will pass to reducer, right? So public static, you see here. So reducer what job is what? reduce the work on this input value, right? And give you the output in K3 V3, right? So K2 V2. So this is the, you can write down the basic parameter the same way what we have here, K1 V2, K2 V2. We will write K2 V2 and K3 V3. So you write like this, okay? And this is the function. Job is what? It has to count how many times this cat is coming. So for that, you will write this method. Inside the method, you will write the body of the code. So you take the text here, define an object, and you see here, this is iteratable is what? Iterator. This is the list. So whenever you work with a list, you have to use what? Iterator. So it will take one by one value, which you have defined as the values. And the text iteratable I have again taken through the output collector. Okay, which pass at this here, text iteratable. Okay. Now see here, let's take this value. You see that, okay, this is the value I have taken. I have defined one variable, sum is equal to 0. Sum is equal to what? 0. While the value has next. Now see here. From there, now again I write a one loop. While value has next, it will start iterating from there. This is the value. So it will say, yes, I got the one value. So the condition is true. So whatever the value you read, you just add it. You just add it. So what value you have read? Plus 1. So dot get. Again, it will say value has next. It's a yes, value has next. Again, it will add what the value it read. That is the meaning of this function. Then do we have value? It's a no value, so it will come out from the loop and it will call the output collector. Output collector what? It holds this too. Right. So text, written text is what? Text is what? Which is object called key. So I written what? Key here, reference of this. What is key we are using here? Cat. And then new iteratable, I passes the value of sum. So what is the value of sum? It's 2. So now it will call one by one and it will give me the cat2, dog2, mat3, rat1. So this is the final output. You come like that. All right. And now this is how the flow it works. Now let's read from the public static void main what exactly. So first of all, it will look when you run the job, it will come and read this class. So what will happen? So you might be notice what it will do first. I hope you understand this flow. Okay, how this flow capture. But how the Java works, how the compiler read this. So first it will go to the main method. It will go and check, okay, where's the PSVM? Okay, it is here. So what this job will do, what job conf will do. So you might be noticed when I run this job, okay, when you run this job, it in the directory it created 3 file, right? Let's see, any directory, whenever whatever the output we are getting of the counting, it create 3 files, 1, 2 file and 1 directory. What is the first file? It's success. If your program runs successfully, it will give you this notification. Your program runs successfully. If your program not runs successfully, even the directory will create. But this part and this part will not be there. Only this will generate logs. So what actually the wrong log will tell you? Inside this log, we have a complete information. A word count, you see here. One is XML file. For this, to run this job, what all the cluster configuration? You remember you have designed some basic parameter of the cluster. There are n number of parameters here, performance tuning and all. This all the config, many things are there. I'll show you into that as well. Okay. Understand? Clear? So how they read this all the information? The first question. How they read this all the information, and this input passed to the system. Hey, for this job, this is the resource has been allocated in this cluster. You got it? So first job is it will go and check all the configuration file. Course RxML, mapper RxML, just RxML. You have done this, right? And there are n number of parameters written there. So it will check all this parameter from there first, and then it will say this is the parameter has been set to run this job. So follow this parameter. How to go and check this all the parameter from the UI? Let me show you. So see here, every job which you run, it will have given the job ID, which you can see on your console as well. So see, this is all the parameter. You can see it from the UI. Understand? You can just see it from here itself, or else from there itself. Understand? Okay. So how this job coming for this? This is a call of job conf. Very simple. All right. What next? Conf set. So what is this parameter will do? You can write the job name. What is your word count or anything? Con dot set output. So here it is written what? Text class. Text dot class. All right. So what is the dot text dot class? Say here, whatever the output K3 V3 you have mentioned, you mention here. That's it. That's it. K3 and V is what? Interwritable. So you write it the output, final output has been given by the reducer. So you write it here, text K3 V3 value in terms of class. How many classes you have used to run this job? Two classes, right? Mapper and reducer. So there are n number of mapper reducer you can write it. So you have to write whatever the mapper reducer you have written, you have to write it here. Okay. How? Okay, what is the input file you have used? So remember, the splitting depends upon, you have done the splitting here. So splitting happen based on the input file format. So how it will come to know what is the file format? Is the text, XML, CSV, what is that? So you can define here. Let's say that, hey, this is my input file, split the data accordingly. And in which file format you want the output? If you want to see here, I've written the text, that's why I'm getting the text. If you want to change, you can come and change it, and you'll get the output in that format. Okay. Next, it will, this is the path from it will read the your input file. This is the argument 0 means your SDFS input file format, input file path, and this is the argument 1 which say that it give the output onto this path. Okay, so this is all which I believe it's not from the coding background Java, it's little not that easy to understand, but yes, you have to do the practice to understand all, to understand the flow what we have, what what we are doing here in this. And yeah, practice needed for that. That's very important. And not at least I will not expect in the first session you start writing the map report, but yes, after the session, if you do some practice, you can understand the terminology and the flow, what is expecting here, what is all this part, and you can give this flow. So that is what the expectation after this session today. Yep, back. So please write me in the chat window if you have any questions here. And you see here why the output you always get. Okay, so this is all information you can gather it. See here. See here why it is written part R. R means the final output is given by a reducer. All right, guys. Any question? Yes. Take 5 minutes. Okay. Read this and let me know if any questions in terms of any code parts. We will have a discussion and give you the more clarity about this flow. So by today, I will expect you to write some algo. We'll give you some kind of assignment. You have to write the algo based on that. So please ask me any queries you have, so I can answer you. Where can I find this code? That we will share it. If you want now, just let me help you. Just give me 1 minute. So, okay, there's a one option to share the file, I guess. Is there audience? Uh, this option, there's no polls, new poll, handout, chat. There was a okay. Yeah, I'll share later. I guess this option is not there. Yeah, okay, so you can ask me a query. So by tomorrow we'll give you the assignment to work how to get how to write an algo for this. Get a better clarity to work onto this. Is that okay? Okay, okay, I got it. I got it. I got it. I got it. This file is not supported. No, this has not been supported here. I cannot send it to you from this webinar. I'll do it from the mail. All right. Yeah, Bindu. Bindu, I guess you're from the what is it? You're from the Java background? So when say algo, do you want us to write a Java code? No, 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 no. Not code. Of course, I cannot expect the code. I can expect this algo one. If I give you an assignment, let's say this is the word count. So if I giving you one assignment, so you know the phase, right? First it will spread, then it will convert into key value, then it will give you the input, map or output. So how this flow will work in MapReduce? How this algo you can write in the MapReduce with this stage, with this all the stage. So that will be my expectation. Got it? Yeah. Yes, guys. So I'll make sure that you should know at least one algo will help you into that. That not be the problem. But yes, you should know how to write the map. Quick, guys, we have a 5 to 10 minutes remaining. So let's not start the topic, new topic. I'll just give you one assignment. Just run this MapReduce code on your job. Just faster. Do it fast. Run a job on your machine. I believe the setup is there, so you can run the job fast. Please let me know. So I give you one more assignment. Once you run the word count, then I'll give you the other assignment. Okay, 5 minutes, guys. Thank you. Hope you're doing this. Let me know if any issue. Yeah, yeah, Bindu. Um, all right, Bindu, you can do it later, no problem. If it is getting hanged. Yeah, Arun. Yeah, Arun, I hope you're doing this. Can I get a quick response? Um, Arun, I'll drop the mail. I'll ask my team to drop you the mail. Thank you. Okay. So please just complete this job and let me know if you are okay with that. Give me the confirmation, please. It's done. Let me know, or else we'll close for today. The code will be shared with you guys by today. You can just do that, and very important. Uh, yeah. So what you are learning, it should be implemented. So you can do the practice. Meanwhile, I'll share the code. You just go through that. Thank you, guys. Have a nice day. See you then tomorrow. Okay. Thanks. Thank you all.